Hello there, everybody here on YouTube. Justice Shane Cannon here once again with episode 8 of my Ghost Recon Wildlands weapons review video. And today we're going to cover yet another submachine gun that I found earlier. This here is the Scorpion EVO 3. But to be more specifically, this is the Scorpion EVO 3A1, which is the fully automatic military designed issue of the Scorpion. So, what can I say about the Scorpion? Well, I can pretty much tell you this. When I first tried this weapon back on Battlefield 4, I'm going to be honest with you, it pretty much sucked. It stunk. Because with the Scorpion EVO 3A1 in Battlefield 4, you would spend more time reloading than shooting. But in Ghost Recon Wildlands, it's a little bit different. It's a little bit different, and I will get to that. But first, let me go over some of the basic details. So, the Scorpion EVO 3A1 is a more modern take on CZ or Czech Republic's earlier version and of the VZ61 Scorpion, and which of course carries the same name. But and as I said, this one is the more modern variant. This of course is the more modern variant. So what can I say about the Scorpion? Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something, guys. This weapon shoots fast. How fast? Well, let me just show you. Yeah, that fast. I mean, we're probably talking about close to 1,000 rounds a minute. But it's in second place right behind the Chris Vector, which of course I will get into that a little bit later on as the series goes on. But let me tell you guys something. The Scorpion is a beast in close quarters. Now, it's no shotgun by any means, because where submachine guns and personal defense weapons focuses more on speed and has a slightly more better range advantage, the shotguns are more the close range powerhouses. But I will get into the review of shotguns later on, which will probably be either the next episode or the next episode after the next one. I know that doesn't make any sense, but you guys can understand. So, what are the strengths and the weaknesses of the Scorpion? Well, the pros, well, we could already find that out ourselves. The Scorpion EVO is extremely fast. While it does not have as much power in the shots, it does make up for it with incredible speed. And with that speed, if you get close enough, you can unleash a barrage of lead into your targets. So, how does it fare? How does it shoot well? What about recoil? Well, let's take a look at it. So as we can see, the Scorpion EVO 3A1, it does shoot fast, but surprisingly, in the first 8 or 10 shots, it does stay where it's at or within its area. But after a while, though, it's gonna climb a little bit upward. Sometimes it'll climb a little bit to the left, but most of the time it'll climb over to the right. So, but how can we counter this? How can we make the Scorpion a bit more effective? Well, let me just go ahead, bring up the stats, and I will show you guys my attachment recommendations. So as we can see from the stats here, its damage is pretty low. Its accuracy is low. Range, low. Noise reduction, low. Penetration, low. Its handling is somewhat able and controllable. But where it really shines is its rate of fire, as we've already witnessed. It has an incredibly fast rate of fire, but it does require some discipline to maintain that control of the recoil. So, of course, as we can see, now it does give you several trigger options, but as we can see from the firing selector here, it can actually give us either semi-auto, a burst mode, or fully automatic. But again, it does give you some trigger options to what you want your Scorpion to perform like. So, what kind of attachments can you do? Well, here in the stock, you can do either an extended or a folded buttstock, but I'd rather keep it extended because I still want a little bit of that accuracy. And of course, you can add in your usual scopes, your holographics, panoramics, micro T1, sights like that. But if you really know what you're doing, and if you can maintain good shots, stay with the iron sights. Which of course something I would recommend. But that is just me. It's just my own little personal preference. If you want to add a sight, go right ahead. Now, as for our trigger options, we have fully automatic and semi-automatic. Fully automatic and a 3-round burst, or semi-automatic and 3-round burst. The full auto and 3-round burst has the lowest outcome of accuracy, but the semi-auto and 3-round burst has the best in terms of the accuracy rating. Full auto and semi-automatic, that's in the middle of the road. But for me personally, I'd rather keep just with a full auto and semi-auto just to try and keep it in a balanced run. But if you want a bit more accuracy, you can go semi-auto and 3-round burst. But again, that's completely up to you. Now in terms of magazines, you start out with 20, but if you already have the attachment, you can go for 30-round magazine, which because of this incredibly fast rate of fire, is something I would, of course, recommend. Now in terms of the underbarrel, you got many different types of variations of grips, but I prefer the angled foregrip just to give it a slight boost in handling and a little bit of boost of accuracy. In terms of recoil cover, come on, it's a no-brainer. Go with the laser 3-dot. Go with the laser 3-dot. Sure, it does give you a little sacrifice of handling, but it does give you a bit more accuracy. In terms of barrels, you can go either standard or long barrel. I prefer the long barrel because it gives it slightly more damage, slightly more accuracy, and a little bit more range at the cost of handling. And of course, if you want stock or suppressor, again, that's up to you. It's entirely based on your playstyle. So, what are my final thoughts of the Scorpion EVO 3A1? As I said, the Scorpion's a beast in close quarters. If you want something fast, this is the weapon I would recommend. But if you want something a little bit more faster, you can go with the Chris Vector. Or if you want something a bit more controlled, you can go with the MP5, UMP45, or the Bizon submachine gun. Well, anyways, guys, that is pretty much basically it there. Again, this is just I'm trying to remain consistent with videos lasting somewhere between 8 to 10 minutes. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't yet, please subscribe to my channel. It really helps me out. And let me down in the comments below what you think about the Scorpion EVO 3A1. And with that, guys, I'm going to say farewell for now. But I promise you, more episodes will be coming on in the later week. Take care, guys, and I hope you all stay safe. Farewell.